Question number 7, Alastair Scott.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Deputy...
Order. Would Alastair Scott like to start his question again?
My question, sir, is to the Deputy Prime Minister and asks, what steps is the government taking to allow New Zealanders to choose our future flag?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, as of tomorrow, the papers for the first of 2 postal referendums will begin to arrive in the mailboxes of New Zealanders who are enrolled to vote. Voting opens from tomorrow and closes on Friday the 11th of December. Earlier this year, Parliament enacted a law that for the first time ever gives New Zealanders an opportunity to have a say in choosing the flag.
Order.
This fulfils a promise we made in the election campaign last year. Very few governments around the world have ever asked their citizens for their views on the design of their national flags, and I'd encourage everyone who is eligible to vote to have their say to choose our flag.
Supplementary.
Order. Order. Supplementary question, Alastair Scott.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Deputy Prime Minister, after the first referendum, what will be the next steps in the process to choose the future flag?
Mr Speaker.
So, order.
For those
order. No, order. I want to hear the answer. The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, the purpose of the first referendum is to allow people to rank 5 alternative flag designs that have been chosen by the Independent Flag Consideration Panel following public consultation. After the preferred alternative flag is selected, a second referendum will be held to allow voters to choose between the preferred alternative and the current flag. That referendum will be held on March 2016. It makes sense that people should see the alternative flag at the time they have the opportunity to choose between that and the current flag.
Order. Supplementary question, Dennis O'Rourke.
What steps is the government taking to ensure that New Zealanders participating in the first flag referendum can express their preference for none of the 5 options listed in favour of the current flag?
That's right. The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, they'll have the opportunity to not participate if they don't think they should. Although New Zealand First used to trust the people with referendums on everything, and now it doesn't. And they have the opportunity in the second referendum to vote for the flag of their preference if it's the current flag.
Order. Order. Supplementary question, Dennis O'Rourke.
If a voter does cast a vote in the first flag referendum and does not choose any of the 5 options listed, but indicates in some way preference for the current flag, can the Minister assure such voters that their vote in that way will be counted as a vote against all of the options listed, and if not, why not?
That's right. That's right. The Honourable Bill English.
No, Mr Speaker, that would be an informal vote. And the reason for that is because in the second referendum they have the chance to vote for the current flag or to change it. It's pretty straightforward.
Order. Order. Supplementary question, Dennis O'Rourke.
If the total number of voters who cast votes in the first flag referendum but who do not indicate a preference, plus the total number who spoil or otherwise cast informal votes, together exceed the number of votes in which a preference is voted for, will the government then cancel the second flag referendum and introduce amending legislation to confirm keep the current flag?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, no. Because we think New Zealanders, unlike New Zealand First, we think New Zealanders are quite capable of following the logic of the referenda and quite capable of clearly expressing their preference through the ballot paper as they do through general elections and local body elections, so on. I don't know why the members seem so concerned to prevent them having a clear choice of a current flag or the new flag.
Question number 8.